Welcome. Today's practice is an all levels 40-minute slow flow. You may need a cushion or blocks, and we'll start laying down on our backs, relaxing all the tension out of our face. Core is soft and our limbs are heavy. Begin to tune into your breathing, observing where it is in your body. Are your breaths shallow or are they deep today? We'll start today's practice with 3 falling out breaths. Let's bring one hand to our chest and the other to our low belly. Taking a deep inhalation through the nose, filling up the low belly first, all the way up to the collarbones, holding at the top, and then gently releasing through the nose. And again, inhaling deeply, filling all the way up, holding at the top, and gently releasing. One more time, maybe the deepest breath you've taken today, inhaling, feeling the belly rise against the hand, all the way up to the collarbones, and release. Bringing the arms down by our sides, coming back to a normal breath. Throughout the practice, stay present by focusing on your breathing, even inhalations and exhalations through the nose. I will be cueing a lot of the breath work today for you. Begin to bend your knees, slowly bringing both legs in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around and giving yourself a hug. Bringing your head back down, holding on to your legs wherever you can. Begin to draw circles, feeling this through the pelvis. When you bring your knees in close, exhaling, and when you bring your legs further away, inhaling. Switching directions, inhaling the legs out, exhaling the legs in. Coming to a point of stillness, bringing the knees in for one last squeeze. Keep the left leg in and place the right foot down on the ground. And rotating through the left leg, just doing half circles out and then back in. Try to isolate this movement to the femur hip socket connection. Now begin to draw full circles. You can use your hand as a guide, or you can do this without your hand, keeping your back firmly planted as we do these rotations. And switch directions. Slow, mindful rotations. Keep your left leg in, interlacing your fingers over the left shin. Extend your right leg out long. You can either flex your right heel or keep your toes relaxed. Start to extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, holding on to the back of your leg. Feel free to keep a soft bend in that left leg. Flex the toes towards the face and then start to do rotations. Maybe bring the hands up a little higher, bringing the leg in close, flexing the heel. Breathing here. And then slowly bend into the left leg. Bring the right leg in for a little hug. Keep the right leg in and place the left foot down on the mat. We'll do the rotations on the other side, starting first with just half circles. Imagine you're using your knee as your guide, and you want to draw your right knee all the way over to the left side as far as you can. And begin to do full circles, either holding on to the right leg or allowing it to go by itself. If you're not holding on, it's a little bit more of a strength challenge. Exhaling the breath as the leg comes in and inhaling it out. And we'll switch directions, going the opposite way. Keep the right leg in, interlacing the fingers over the shin, and extend the left leg out long. Extend the right leg up to the ceiling, flexing the heel. Rotate through the ankle, wiggling the toes. Maybe bringing the grip up a little bit. Bringing that leg just a bit closer in, flexing through the heel, pointing the toes down. Releasing the leg and bringing both in for one last little hug. We're going to set up for 3 bridge waves, bringing the feet in as close as you can, about hips width distance apart. Inhale the hips off the mat. Exhale slowly down, rolling through the spine. Again, inhaling up, finding broadness through the chest, strength through the glutes and legs, rolling down. One more time, inhaling up off the mat. Legs are parallel with each other. Exhale down slowly. Slowly start to bring the legs in towards the chest and then out towards the armpits. You can stay right here, holding onto your shins, or you can extend your feet up for happy baby, holding onto the outside edges of your feet or your legs. Hold on wherever allows your low back to relax down to the ground a little bit more. If it feels good for your spine, you may rock slightly side to side. Release the feet and bring your legs back in for a hug. And then slowly guide both legs over to the left side. You may have to shift your hip a little over to the right. Feel free to place a cushion or a block underneath or between your legs if you need a bit of support. Extend the right arm out long and follow with the gaze if that feels safe for your neck. Deep mindful breaths. On the exhalations, try drawing your navel in. No stale air in the low belly. Fill up fully on the inhalations. Use the breath as a way to massage your internal organs in these supine twists. Start to point your right finger, and on your next exhalation, begin to draw a slow circle all the way up and over the head until your right hand reaches your left. On the inhalation, open the hand up, bringing the right hand all the way up and over. And we'll do that again, drawing a circle with the right hand, following with the head, bringing the hands together, inhaling open. One more time, exhaling the hand up and over. And when the hands meet, really flex between the shoulder blades, finding space in your back. Inhale the right arm up and open. Slowly bring your head back to center, followed by the legs. Place the feet back down the mat and realign so that your spine is nice and straight. Walk your feet out so that they are at the edges of your mat, maybe off, and begin to windshield wiper your legs side to side, releasing the low back. Feel free to take these as slowly as you'd like. Then bring both feet back in. Bring your knees into your chest, and we'll set up for the other side, placing both legs down towards the right. Extend your left arm out long and follow with the gaze if that feels good. Remember to breathe mindfully in this twist to massage the internal organs. Begin to point your left index finger, and on your next exhalation, draw a circle up over your head until your left hand reaches your right. Inhale to open. We'll do 2 more just like that. Remembering to really flex between the shoulder blades when the hands meet. Inhaling open. Exhaling around 1 more time. Inhaling to open. Slowly bring your head back to center, followed by the legs, readjusting yourself, and then make your way to an easy seated position, however feels best for you, maybe rocking up or going through fetal. Place a hand on the legs and begin to inhale the shoulders up. Exhale, release out the mouth. 2 more times, inhaling up and release. 1 more time, bring the shoulders all the way up. Release. Place your right hand down beside you and inhale the left arm up and over, really pulling through those left fingertips, finding length through the left side body. Inhaling the right arm up, exhaling over the other way. We'll move through this vinyasa, inhaling the left arm up, exhaling the right arm down. Inhaling up, exhaling over, finding length through those fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale the arms down. Slowly uncross your legs, bringing the soles of the feet together as far out in front of you as you'd like. Holding on to the feet, we'll inhale here, and then on the exhalation, start to flex over the legs, going down only as far as feels good. You can stay up here, or if you're a little more flexible, maybe thread the arms underneath the legs, holding on to the feet. Check in with your breathing, taking slow and mindful breaths in this position. Slowly begin to come up and place yourself at the back of your mat, legs out long in front of you. We're going into staff pose, so really feel grounded through your sit bones, placing your hands beside and lifting the chest. Tuck the chin in and push down through your hands and your legs and your feet. Breathe here. Start to reach for your legs or your toes, wherever feels best to hold on to. We'll inhale here, broadening through the chest, and then exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, add a generous bend in the knees if you need, and exhale, forward fold. Imagine you're trying to bring your torso down your legs, so you're not flexing into your back too much in this forward fold. This means that your legs may need to be generously bent, and that's totally cool. Meet yourself where you are. Inhale, coming back up, and exhale, release the legs or feet. Start to bend into your left leg and cross it over your right, bringing it all the way over so that your knees are stacked above each other. Begin to relax over your legs, only going down as far as feels good. You may place a cushion in between your legs or even underneath you if you need a little bit more support. Keep the right foot flexed. This will help stabilize and support the right knee. As you breathe into this half shoelace pose, you may feel your hip opening up. Slowly inhale up, placing the left foot down and hugging it into the chest, straighten the spine. We'll place the left hand behind us, inhaling the right arm up, either holding on to the outside of the left leg or maybe dipping in. We're coming into a half Lord of the Fishes twist. Find length through the spine. Imagine there's a thread coming out of the top of your head and someone is pulling it. Slowly come back to center, straightening the spine, and then counter twisting over to the right. Come back to center, bending into both legs, set them out wide, and windshield wiper your legs side to side a few times. Come back to center and extend the legs out. Inhale the arms up, finding length. Exhale, forward fold, generous bend in the knees, if necessary. Breathing here, finding length through the spine. Slowly inhale up. Exhale, release the legs. And then we'll do the other side, crossing the right leg over the left, placing it as far over as you can. Inhale up for length, and then forward fold over the legs, relaxing the head. Remember to keep your left foot flexed. Slowly inhale up. Plant the left foot down on the mat. Straight spine. We're coming into our half Lord Fishes on the right side, inhaling the left arm up and maybe hooking it over the right leg. Spine is long. Remember to breathe. Inhale, coming back to center, straightening the spine, and a little counter twist over to the left. Coming back to center again. Make your way into a neutral tabletop position. And we're setting up to do some wrist rolls, making sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders. We'll rotate one way and then switch directions. If you find these too hard for your wrists, you can always do wrist rolls sitting back on your heels, arms lifted and in the air so that they're weightless. Switch directions if you haven't. Tuck all your toes under and take a seat at the back of your mat. Inhale the arms up and out, lifting up through the chest. Exhale, bring the pinkies to touch, elbows to touch, curl in. Inhale to open. Exhale in, curling under. Inhale, open. Exhale in. Inhale, open one last time. You should feel your toes burning a little bit. And then exhale, place the hands down on the mat, untuck the toes. Start to rotate your fingers so that they face your knees, and either pulse or just find a sweet spot and hold. If you need to take any weight off your wrists, you can always sit up a little bit more. Visualize sending breath to any tight areas in your wrists. Bring your fingers back to the front of your mat and then lift up your hands, tucking your fingers under. They're facing the knees again, but this time the tops of the hands are on the ground. Add a little pulse or find a sweet spot and hold in stillness. Breathe here. Untuck your hands and bring them behind you on tented fingers. Start to lift your knees off the ground, leaning back. Keep the chest broad. This is a juicy ankle stretch, so if at any point it starts to feel like too much, you can always come back down onto your legs. Make your way into a tabletop position. Extend your arms about a foot out long in front and melt your heart down, shifting your hips back so that they're over your knees. Only going down as far as feels good. You should feel this in the chest and the shoulders. If you're a little more flexible, you can shift your gaze to look between your thumbs, melting your chest down a little bit more. Breathe here, and if you have knee sensitivities, tuck your toes under. Untuck your toes and slowly lift yourself up, walking your hands in a few inches. Hover your left hand and thread it underneath of your right arm, bringing your left shoulder and maybe even your head all the way down to the mat. Option to bring your right hand to your low back or maybe even wrapping it around and grabbing your left thigh. If you took the bind with your right hand, begin to bring it back down to the mat, pressing into it. Inhale the left arm up and open up to the left side. Exhale down. We'll go right into the other side, threading the right arm underneath of the left, and then taking whichever variation with the arms best suits your body. Remember to breathe. Release the bind if you have it, placing the left hand down. Pressing into it, we'll inhale, opening up to the right side, exhaling down. We'll meet in a neutral tabletop position. Start to bring your right hand to the back of your head, lifting the elbow up. We'll inhale to open up to the side. And then exhale, elbow to elbow. We'll do this 2 more times. Try to keep your low back stable. This movement should really come from the mid back. Inhale, open. Exhale in, elbow to elbow. Inhale, returning back to center, and release the hand back down to the mat. We'll do the other side, bringing the left hand to the back of the head, elbow up, inhaling open, and exhaling to close, elbow to elbow. Inhaling open, really feeling this from the thoracic spine. Exhale, close. One more time, inhaling open. Elbow to elbow on the exhalation. Coming back to center and releasing the hand back down. Tucking the toes under, begin to lift your knees off the ground and come into your version of downward dog, maybe with a generous bend in the knees. Focus on really shooting your hips up and back, spreading through the fingers, and make any movements that feel good in your body in this position. Maybe walking out the heels, swaying side to side. Start to create a little more distance between your feet and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Inhale up for a halfway lift, and then exhale, ragdoll over the legs, generous bend in the knees. You may sway side to side. Coming back to stillness, on your next inhalation, start to roll up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Keep holding on to opposite elbows all the way. At the top, finding length, and then exhale over to the left. Inhale back up to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back up, maybe taking a little back bend. And then exhale, tucking the chin in, start to roll down the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Ragdolling again. Release the elbows and walk yourself down your mat. Option to take a vinyasa, coming down onto your legs, inhaling through for cobra, and then back to downward dog. Breathing here. Really pushing the floor away from you. Shifting the gaze to look forward, start to walk your feet up towards your hands. Take a very wide stance with your toes slightly out and start to shift your hips back, coming into a malasana squat. Only going down as far as you can. And if you're very far down, maybe lifting up about an inch just to engage your glutes. Stretch your arms out long in front and slower than you want to, start to rise all the way up, reaching the arms up. Exhaling the arms out in front and slowly sinking back down. Really abducting the legs. Imagine UFOs are trying to take them away. Place your left hand down and inhale the right arm up. Option to stay right here if this is enough, or maybe you try to bind your hands. If the hands don't bind but you'd like to practice, try this with a towel or a strap to bridge the gap between the two. Slowly release, coming back to center. We'll set up for the other side. Inhaling the left arm up. Staying right here if this is enough, or continuing, maybe binding your hands. Remember to keep abducting your legs, engaging your glutes. Coming back to center. Placing the hands down, step back with your right foot. Widening your stance with your left foot a little bit. Bring your right knee down. Place your left hand on your left leg, rolling onto the edge of your left foot. Come back to center slowly and walk your left foot in so that your hands are framing it. We're going to lift our right knee off the ground, inhaling the left arm up for an easy twist, pulling through those fingers. Exhale the arm back down to the ground. Double up your mat if you have sensitive knees, and we'll meet in a low lunge. Inhaling the arms up, take hold of the right wrist and exhale over to the left. You may find a lunge to stay in, or if you'd like, you can pulse going down lower and then coming up a little bit. Working your balance, working your leg muscles. Feel free to keep your back toes tucked under to help engage and protect the knee. Release the wrist, coming back to center, and exhale, opening up to the side, bringing your left arm back, right arm forward. Option to place your left hand on your low back, inhaling the right arm up and over, maybe even placing it on your calf if you're a little bit more flexible. Breathe here. Release, exhaling the right hand down, lifting the right knee up, inhaling left arm up to easy twist. Exhale the left arm towards the inside of the left foot. Unroll your mat and step up into a Malasana squat reset. Place both hands back down on the mat and step back with your left foot this time, coming down onto your left knee, and then giving your right leg a little push, rolling onto the edge of your right foot. Release your hold, come back to center. Lift your left knee up, inhale the right arm up, easy twist. Pull through those fingers. Exhale down. Double up your mat. And we're coming up into a low lunge, holding on to the left wrist, exhale over to the right. Breathe here, and you can either hold in stillness or pulse through this lunge. Release the wrists and open up to the right side. Maybe placing your right hand on your low back or maybe on your calf, inhaling the left arm up and back. Really pulling through those top fingers, finding length through the body. Exhale the left arm down. Left knee rises. Inhale the right arm up, easy twist. Exhale the right arm down towards the inside of the right foot. Come up to the front of your mat in another Malasana squat. Slowly start to make your way onto your bum. And we're setting up for boat pose. So leaning back on our tented fingers, lifting the knees up, maybe staying right here or hovering the hands. Imagine you're trying to balance on a little block. On the next exhalation, start to lower down, low boat. Inhale back up. Exhale, low boat, hovering the shoulders. Inhale back up, high boat. Exhale down, low boat. Inhale up, high boat, and place the feet down, rolling down the spine slowly. Let's set up for one last bridge pose, walking the feet in, about hips width distance apart, and inhale the hips up. This time, maybe you take an interlace underneath, walking the shoulders under, lifting up through the hips a little bit more, engaging the glutes. Try to keep your legs from splaying out too much. So really engage that inner leg to wrap them in. Slowly come back down. Bring the knees into the chest and make your way to your belly. We'll come to meet in a Sphinx position. So elbows are underneath shoulders, maybe a little bit further down the mat. And imagine you're trying to pull yourself through your arms without moving, tucking the chin into the chest, strong through the arms and strong through the chest. On your next inhalation, start to bring your chin up towards the ceiling, looking up. And then exhale, drawing the chin in towards the chest. Align your left arm with the front of your mat, rolling onto your left side. Inhale the hips up off the ground, option to keep the feet staggered or place one on top of the other. We'll inhale the right arm up, option to stay here, or you can extend it beyond the mat. Whichever arm variation feels good. Keep driving those hips up towards the ceiling, breathing evenly through the nose. Slowly exhale down to the mat, bringing the right hand back down and coming back onto your belly, setting up in Sphinx again, pulling the chest through. We'll set up for the other side, bringing the right arm to be parallel with the top of the mat. Inhaling the hips off the mat, either keeping the feet staggered or placed one on top of the other. You can keep your left arm pointing up towards the ceiling or towards the front of the mat. Allow yourself to embrace that heat you may be feeling in the body. Slowly exhale down to the mat, rolling back onto your stomach, and we're setting up for locust pose with the hands down close to the ribs, elbows in. Inhale up, lifting through the chest, keeping the legs together. Exhale down. Inhaling up again, this time maybe lifting the legs, pointing through the toes. Exhale down. Inhaling up again, option to raise the legs. Exhale down. Slowly tucking the toes, make your way to the back of your mat in a kneeling position. We're setting up for camel pose, so making sure that the legs are about hips width distance apart. Placing the hands on the hips. We're going to start to inhale up, rising up through the chest, maybe starting to place the hands on the low back. And then tilting the head back. Stay here if this is enough. If you have vertigo, feel free to keep the chin tucked in. And if you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you try reaching down to grab your heels. Wherever you are, make sure that your legs are strong, hips are forward, chest is lifted. Breathing. Slowly exhale to come back up and sit back on your heels, taking a moment to rebound. Rolling the shoulders back a few times. Inhale the left arm up and back, using your right hand to coax the hand down your back a little bit more. And then we'll bring the right hand to meet the left. And if your hands touch, don't interlace them. We want to use our strength to stay open. Let's go right into the other side. Feel free to use your left hand to coax your right elbow down if you need to. Keeping the spine long. Release the arms out long, and we'll take one last little back bend. Slowly start to make your way down to your mat. mindfully rolling down vertebra by vertebra, and then extending the legs out long. Feel free to grab your cushion if you want a little bit more padding for your head. We're slowing it down now with one last pose before Shavasana. Inhale both arms up overhead and bring both hands over to the left, and do the same with your legs, maybe crossing your right ankle over your left and maybe grabbing hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Breathe here, finding length through the right side body. When your mind wanders, bring yourself back to the present by focusing on your breathing. Slowly begin to come back to center, and we'll set up on the other side right away, bringing the legs and arms over to the right side. Find length through the left side body, breathing between the ribs and the intercostals. Relax any tension that you may be holding onto in the forehead and between the brows. Allow your tongue to slacken and your jaw to be soft. Slowly come back to center, releasing the arms down long by your body, taking up as much space as you'd like on your mat. We're coming into our final resting pose. Continue relaxing all the way down your body. Relax your neck and shoulders and soften between your shoulder blades. Your core is soft and your limbs are heavy. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sending you all peace and love.